Good evening. This is Kerry sitting in for Kurt. He's late getting to the mic, so I'll sit here and twiddle our thumbs collectively till he gets here. The number to call is 501-437-2963. The mailing address for his catalog and the $100 radio package is Post Office Box 95, Alpena, it's A-L-P-E-N, Arkansas 72611. Kurt's $100 radio package contains volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of The Survivor, close to 2,000 pages of the best how-to you'll ever see anywhere. Volume 1 of The Poor Man's James Bond, and a subscription to U.S. Militia and Shoestring Entrepreneur. Well, here's the boss. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're late. There you go.
Okay, here I am again. And the topic for tonight is preserving the fruits of your harvest, fruit butters, from Organic Gardening and Farming, November 1973. If you've got lots of fruit to put up with, try this simple Pennsylvania Dutch specialty. You may find fruit butters becoming your favorite method of preserving fruits. A big advantage they have over jams and jellies is that they can be made in very large quantities. They are also not as delicate as jellies are. It isn't essential to get them off the stove at exactly the right moment for fear they will not gel. Rather, fruit butter will thicken naturally as they cook down, so you won't have to worry about testing for pectin or acid or do a jelly test every other minute to find out if the mixture is thick or not. The test for thickness of a fruit butter is simple, fast, and easy. Put a dab of the butter on a plate. Let it set for a few minutes. If the dab does not separate, that is, if you don't notice liquid at the edges of the drop, the butter is ready to be put up. However, there are disadvantages to making fruit butters. They have to be cooked for a long time, far longer than jams or jellies, before they are ready to be put up. During the entire cooking time, they must be watched closely and stirred frequently so that they don't burn or scorch. Scorched fruit butter is next to useless, and there's few worse feelings than burning a big batch of it. You'll have to make fruit butter when you can spend the entire day in the kitchen so that you can stir it frequently. Do it when you're baking or doing other canning. Although fruit butters made with sugar or honey have been known to keep for years without spoiling, bacteria are too smart to eat the sugar which we, in our ignorance, consume. It is still best to can your butters. You can do this by processing both pint and quart jars in a boiling water bath for 10 minutes. Don't allow these disadvantages to dissuade you from making at least some fruit butters. They have a long and honorable history. In German, the word Lattwurg originally meant prune or pear butter, which the people of the Rhinish Palatinate made to keep their prunes and pears over the winter months. It often took up to 48 hours to prepare these fruit butters, but the time was spent in celebration as the preparation of the butter became the occasion of a folk festival. The descendants of these Germans, the Pennsylvania Dutch, brought Lattwurg with them when they came to America. In this country, the term came to be associated with apple butter because the Pennsylvania Dutch made huge quantities of it in the fall, stirring apples and cider in vast kettles over an open fire. As you might imagine, this too was a festive event, one often used as an excuse for courting. Like many other once regional specialties, apple butter has been made available to most parts of the country by modern transportation and improved marketing facilities. But store-bought spread just can't match the taste of real honest-to-goodness homemade apple butter. A large kettle or pot with a heavy bottom is best for making fruit butters. Pennsylvania Dutch families used cast iron pots slung on a tripod over outdoor fires. If you're making large quantities, invest in a large stainless steel stock pot. These pots also come in handy when you're making soups, sauerkrauts, and other foods in large quantities. Stock pots come in various sizes, from small to huge, and you can choose according to your taste and budget. Many restaurant supply stores will give you a good price on a second-hand stock pot. Aluminum stock pots are considerably cheaper than those made from stainless steel, but don't be tempted by the lower price unless you plan to use it only for the boiling water bath processing. The acids in fruits may react with the aluminum and cause both a color and flavor change in your butters. Stainless steel is best because the metals in it are stable and will not react with fruit acids or those in other foods. You may find that the bottom of stainless steel stock pots are thin and do not conduct heat evenly. If this is the case with your pot, buy an asbestos pad for the burner and place it under the pot when making fruit butters. This pad will spread the heat evenly over the bottom and help prevent hot spots from developing. Some recipes recommend baking fruit butters in the oven. Again, stainless steel is good for this, and you may be able to buy a stainless steel pan from the same place you got your stock pot. Glass casserole dishes are good too if they are deep and wide. It is better to have a shallow layer of butter in a pan rather than a thick one. It cooks up faster. Enamel roasting pans are also suitable. Notice that in most of the recipes that follow, we recommend adding honey to taste when the butter has finished cooking down rather than adding any while the fruit is still cooking. If fruits are ripe or slightly overripe, the natural sugars in them are at their peak, and no extra sweeteners may be necessary. You may spoil your butter by making it too sweet if you add honey before tasting the finished product. The ingredients in most of the recipes below are given in parts rather than in actual measurements, like cups or pounds. We have done this so you can easily adjust the quantities and use just the amount of fruit you have on hand. Apple butter. Some people feel that the best apple butter is made from unpeeled, uncored apples. Others feel that there's little difference in taste between butter made from apples that were peeled and cored before they were cooked down, and butter made from apples cooked whole and then put through a food mill or fruit press to remove the skins and seeds. The choice is up to you, but we offer a little advice. If you're not concerned about the slight difference in taste in the finished butter and want to save yourself a little time, peel and core your apples first, because it's more work removing skins and seeds later on by using a mill or press. The recipe below is given for those using unpeeled and uncored apples. If peeling and coring yours, leave out the step that tells you to run the fruit through a fruit press. 3 parts cider, 2 parts apples, unpeeled and uncored, sliced thin. Put the cider in a big pot and bring it to a boil. Add the apples slowly, being careful not to splatter yourself. Allow apples and cider to come to a boil, then simmer, stirring frequently to prevent sticking. When the apple butter has begun to thicken considerably, the slices will start to fall apart as you stir. After the butter is thickened, remove it from the heat and put everything through a fruit press, discarding the peels, seeds, and stems. If you have peeled and cored your apples, omit this step. Put the remaining soupy mixture back in the pot, then back on the heat, and simmer until the apple butter is thick, dark brown mass. Test to see if the apple butter has thickened. If it has, you may want to sweeten it. Use honey and sweeten to taste. You may also want to add spices to your apple butter. If so, add cinnamon, allspice, and ground cloves to taste. Bring the mixture to a boil, then put butter in hot, sterilized jars, leaving a 1/4 inch head space. Screw the lids on tightly. Process pints and quarts for 10 minutes in a boiling water bath. Remove from heat and seal jars if necessary. Cool them on a wire rack and store cool jars in a cool, dark place. Pear butter. 1 part water, 2 parts apple cider, 3 parts pears. Follow the recipe for apple butter. Grape butter. 1 gallon grapes, 4 tablespoons water. Put grapes in kettle with water. Heat and mash the grapes. Continue cooking as the mixture thickens, stirring frequently. When thicker, put through a fruit press and remove skins and seeds. Return to heat and cook until thick. If you want to sweeten your grape butter, add honey to taste just before canning. When thick, pack in hot, sterilized jars, leaving a 1/4 inch headspace. Screw the lids on tightly. Process pints and quarts for 10 minutes in a boiling water bath. Remove jars from canner and complete seals if necessary. Cool on a wire rack. Peach butter. 3 parts sliced peaches, 1 part water. Peel peaches and remove pits. For freestone peaches, scald for 1 minute to remove the skins. Place peaches in large pot and cook until soft. Shake pot frequently to prevent sticking. It is better if you divide your peach butter up among several pots for this part of the operation. When the fruit is tender, put it through a mill or fruit press. Turn the puree into a shallow roasting pan or pans and cook uncovered for 1 hour at 325 Fahrenheit and continue cooking, stirring every 15 to 20 minutes until the butter is thick, fine textured, and a rich reddish amber color. When it has reached this state, take it out of the oven. Ladle it into hot sterilized jars. Screw the lids on tightly. Process pints and quarts 10 minutes in a boiling water bath. Remove jars from canner and complete seals if necessary. Cool jars on a wire rack and store in a cool, dry, dark place. Apricot butter. What do you mean, ooh? Oh, okay. Carrie's over there. Got a cold and he's making comments, but I'm going to keep on anyway. Apricot butter. Cut fruit in halves, remove pits, and place in large kettle with enough water to prevent scorching. Cook until tender. When tender, put through a fruit press or press through a sieve. Cook until thick, stirring frequently to prevent scorching. When the butter is thick, sweeten with honey if you desire. Pour into hot sterilized jars. Screw the lids on tightly. Process pints and quarts for 10 minutes in boiling water bath. Remove jars from canner and complete seals if necessary. Cool on wire rack and store in a cool, dark, dry place. Plum butter. Wash plums and remove all blemishes. Put in kettle and add enough water so that the plums are just covered. Cook until tender. Put through food mill or fruit press to remove pits and skins. Measure pulp and add 1/2 cup honey for each cup of plum pulp, if desired. Return to heat and cook until thick. Pack in hot sterilized jars, leaving a 1/4 inch head space. Screw lids on tightly. Process pints and quarts 10 minutes in boiling water bath. Remove jars from canner and complete seals if necessary. Cool upright on wire rack and store in a cool, dry, dark place. Prune butter. 1 pound prunes. 1/2 cup white or cider vinegar. Honey to taste. Rinse prunes. Cover with water, bring to a boil, and then reduce heat and simmer until tender. Cool slightly. Remove pits. Put the prunes through a fruit press. Add the vinegar. You can add spices to the butter now if you wish. We recommend adding 1/4 teaspoon grated nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon powdered allspice, and 1/4 teaspoon powdered cloves. Cook until thick and then sweeten with honey. Pour into sterilized hot jars, leaving a 1/4 inch headspace. Screw lids on tightly and process in boiling water bath for 10 minutes. Remove jars from canner, complete seals if necessary, and cool upright on wire racks. Store in a cool, dark place. Now that is the end of that, unless I've lost a page. Well, I'm sure I didn't lose a page. Anyway, I remember when I was a child, my mom would make these fruit butters, and it was the most delicious stuff. And I don't think you can even buy it at the stores anymore. I don't know why, but they just don't make fruit butters anymore. Now, I'm going to print, well, I'll redo the recipes and print them in another issue of Shoestring Entrepreneur, because that's something you get several bushels of fruit from the farm, especially when it's the last days and he's got some bad fruit, and that's just the kind to make fruit butters. And you have a party and invite all the people there, and you put out several dozen jars of fruit butters of one kind or another, and you can sell those for big bucks at flea markets and stuff like that. Of course, if you just store them to eat for yourself, they are the most delicious things that you can think of for breakfast or dinner or whatever. So, yeah, you should have done the lamp commercial first thing, then I wouldn't have been late. Okay, we'll do the lamp commercial.
The test of time is possibly the greatest testimonial to a product or company's greatness, and for 86 years, Mr. Victor Samuel Johnson's amazing invention continues its legacy. The Aladdin incandescent kerosene mantle lamp has been lighting American homes for 3 generations. In rural farmlands of America, they were the constant source of dependable and economical everyday lighting. The magic to the Aladdin lamp is the mantle that incandesces like an electric light while using no electricity. You can have dependable, economical lighting for the future without depending on any utility company. At 98% efficiency, they burn odorless with the equivalency of over 36 candles, while fuel costs are less than what you'd spend on a single candle. They start pricing at under $40. Send $1 to receive an information packet. Send it to Modern Solutions Incorporated, 1325 West Main Street, Franklin, Tennessee, 37064. Your dollar will be credited on any purchase. That address again is Modern Solutions Incorporated, 1325 West Main Street, Franklin, Tennessee, 37064. You can be sure you'll enjoy reading your Survivor series, no matter what befalls your electric company.
Now, I urge you to send in for that brochure on the lamps because they are beautiful, and incidentally, they'd make a fine Christmas present for that very special person. Hello, Kurt here.
Howdy, Kurt. Andy in Detroit calling.
Hi, Andy.
Yeah, I heard you're going to be going off the air this week, huh?
Well, Friday's my last night, and I will be back on when they get that new frequency.
Oh, they're going to get a new frequency, huh?
Yeah.
You don't happen to know what
No, I don't. Adam told me a couple of weeks ago that it should be a couple of weeks, and then I talked to him a few days ago, and he said, well, we thought it'd be a couple of weeks, but we filed for it. Everything is in order, but it might be a couple of months.
Oh.
And so I said, okay, then I want off this frequency as quick as I can. I was going to, you know, just stick it out until the new frequency if it was going to be a couple of weeks, but I'm not going to be on this frequency for a couple of months because last night it was horrible. Tonight it's good. The night before last it was pretty good, and that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, well, I guess other people have been having trouble on this whole bandwidth, you know.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. I'm not being heard, and so it's just not worth it. Well, what did you have to say, Andy?
Well, I got that Seeds of Change catalog.
Isn't that great?
Oh, it's a beautiful catalog. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Well, I ordered about 20 packets of seeds from it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean,
oh, yeah.
They're very economically priced. I mean,
well, $1.99 a packet, all straight across the board.
Yeah, that's a nice policy.
Yeah, that way you don't need to figure.
And I like some of those like kits that they've got, you know, where they have like a variety in each package.
Yeah. Well, I didn't bother with them. I bought some of the rare seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And like sesame seeds, I'm going to plant sesame.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Pennyroyal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that pennyroyal is an abortion thing?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if a woman wants to abort, see, the instructions say don't drink pennyroyal if you're pregnant.
Well, don't.
And then I read a thing in Organic Gardening, all those back issues I went through that said that pennyroyal was very dangerous to pregnancy, not dangerous to the pregnant woman. It's dangerous to the fetus. It will cause an abortion.
Don't let Mother Angelica hear that one.
Oh, bless her heart. I've heard Mother Angelica. She's a sweet person, but I know she would understand and forgive.
Well, anyway, I'm going to be sending your cohort there some information for you.
Okay.
On bulletin boards.
Oh, well, send it to me.
Well, if I send it to you, you might not get it.
Why not?
Well, I sent you stuff before, and I guess you never got it.
I did get it. I've gotten several things from you. Surf's Up.
Uh-huh.
Well, I get it.
Yeah, well, I'll send one to you and to Carrie just to make sure it gets...
Okay. Now, what does it cost if I get my own bulletin board?
I have no idea, but you're going to have to buy like a whole bunch of hardware.
Well, we're getting all kinds of hardware to...
I think you're probably looking at least a few $100.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens then.
And,
well, you see, if I had my own bulletin board, then I could just put in my catalog and everything like that. As it is, with the using other people's bulletin board, I could maybe, like in the third person, say, hey, if you want to listen to a hot program, tune in frequency, whatever it's going to be, and you know, just say a few things about it, how it's a gardening, survival, and home business show, and it has nothing to do with gardening, survival, or home business. It's all about making bombs and things like that. Well, that's when I started on the program. It was a gardening, home business, and survival show, but it just, well, it's like I said, when people call in, they're guests in my home if they want to turn it otherwise, just so it's fun.
Yeah, well, I gave you also a plug the other day. I was interviewed on the radio on a station out in Arizona because of
yeah.
stuff. It was a lot of fun. One guy called up and started ranting about Nikola Tesla. I mean,
yeah. Well, Nikola was a great man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a fan of Nikola's.
Okay, Kurt, I heard the bell.
Okay, and you call again.
Listening for you.
Okay, bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Now, just write that down. I mean, you don't need to think about using it today or tomorrow, but since Friday is my last day for who knows when until they get me on the new frequency, you may decide that you want to send for my catalog. See, and then you haven't written it down, and then you'll be wondering, and you'll get anxious, and you'll run and join a militia someplace and run around in the woods and get tigers and chicks and scratch from then on. But that's now if also take down my office phone number, see, because that's where you call in for like Visa, Master Charge orders. You can order any way you like, check, money order, whatever, but if it's for Visa or Master Charge, it's easier to just call it in. And my number for the office is 501-437-2999. You got that? Okay, now, like I just mentioned here, send in $1, and you'll get the Atlan Formularies catalog describing all of my books and tapes and a lot of other books, too, put you in business, set you a new start in life, really thrilling, entertaining, and informative books. And when you get the catalog and make your first order, knock $1 off the price. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, Kurt.
Yes.
Well.
Bernice?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, you're pretty staticky. But I heard the remark that tonight is your last night?
No. Friday night is my last night.
Yeah, well, that's what
on this frequency. If they come up with that new frequency, then I'll be on it.
Well, I'll tell you, at 9 o'clock on Truth House, Dr. Fulcher asked everyone to listen because he would have some sort of an announcement to make.
Yeah.
But you know what I've discovered?
What? That
I have my radio sitting on one of the burners of my stove.
Yes.
I mean a cold burner, of course, not anything that's warm. But the reception is pretty good.
Well,
So I don't know. Maybe some folks will try just putting their. Of course, I have a natural gas stove, you know. That
I don't think anybody's going to buy a special kind of stove.
No. But I'm saying if they have a stove, just put your shortwave on one of the burners of your stove.
It couldn't hurt.
Hey.
Anyway, what did he say? You were starting to tell me something.
Well, he's going to have an announcement tonight. His program comes on at 9 o'clock. But in the event that I can't hear it, I have his 800 number, and I'll call.
Yeah.
And see what sort of announcement he has to make.
Yes.
In regards to the new frequency. I think this is what it is.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, he wants off this frequency, too.
Well, you know, one thing that he's quite always has been concerned about the reception, because regardless, you can call in every night, but he wants his listeners to call and let his receptionist know what, you know, how well the frequency is coming, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well, he'll probably be transferred on the other. Adam called me special and said, and that was the reason for his call, he told me that he was going to transfer me to a lower frequency.
Yeah.
But things didn't work out. I mean, the frequency will come through, but not as quick as he had hoped.
Well, no, listen, let me tell you. If they just file the papers with the FCC, and see, December's right here, well, everything sort of is a stalemate through December.
Yeah, well, probably.
January, you know, it kind of drags a little bit.
Well, things start picking up in January because the New Year's there, and people realize that they got to wake up.
Yeah, well, however, I just thought I'd give you a quick call, and I guess maybe that what I heard was covered up by one of the waves of static. But, however, I'll be getting in touch with you in Glendine. Hope all the listeners have a nice day tomorrow.
Well, I hope so, too.
And I hope you're back on the air by Christmas, at least.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. I told him I'd take it when it was available.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, Kurt.
Okay, Bernice.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. Yeah, okay. Well, here's the flashing light, so I'll pick it up. Hello, Kurt here.
Kurt, this is Dwayne from Fitchburg, Mass.
Hi, Dwayne. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're coming in pretty good tonight. Last night was pretty bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I ordered your James Bond book and the tape, and they're fantastic. I sent away for them about a week ago, and I had them shipped UPS, and they only took like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely fantastic.
Did you like the tape?
Oh, unbelievable. I was watching it. My wife came in the room and goes, "Who is that?" And because you had your James Bond outfit on, and I go, "That's Kurt." And she goes, "Oh," she started laughing. You know, the hat kind of made you look like a pimp, I do have to say.
That's all right. That's my Clarence hat.
Oh, your Clarence hat. You know, the tape is fantastic, though.
Yeah.
It really does show. You know, sometimes when you read something in a book, you know, to see it step by step, it was really good.
Well, I gave a copy to the FBI, and then I asked them what they thought about it, and I got a no comment.
Really?
They didn't. They don't like that sort of thing. But see, my policy is just give them a sample of what I'm doing, so that they can't jump on me and say that I'm doing something underground and being sneaky about it, clandestine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna.
And I sort of like to shake them up anyway, because I don't know if you've ever met an FBI agent, but if you ever do, you'll find he is generally a very nice guy, very polite, like cops are these days. See, they got to be polite, but they are totally Joe College, and I don't know how to describe it, but they're like nobody else in the world. They don't look like detectives. None of them look mean. They're just official, extremely polite, overly friendly, like a used car salesman.
Well, I used to work at a motel doing maintenance, and we used to have them staying there because they used to go to Fort Devens and train and stuff like that. And they just struck me as the most boring people I've ever met in my life. You know, kind of like bookworm type guys.
Well, you see, what I get a kick out of is that they're the image that people have of them, like they're awful monsters, and then you meet one, and it's like he's your nephew, just out of college, who wants to please.
Yep. Yeah.
Haven't you noticed that they're all of a type?
Yes, they're almost like they come out of a cookie cutter.
Yeah.
You know, they are. They're, you know, all college boys going to this certain college, taking the same thing. You know, that type of thing. But yeah, I'm going to order.
They're easily shocked. They really are.
Yeah.
They can't relate to anything radical. It's like when my brother was a deputy sheriff. He worked with them on certain cases. No, he wasn't big or official. He was just a deputy sheriff, and to them, just, you know, person to person, like over coffee and what. And he said that the thing about the FBI guys, they have to take a battery of psychological tests, which shows that they are so normal, they're so totally straight that they can't relate to radical types. They just don't understand radical types. They understand bank robbers and things like that. But when it comes to idealists and political radicals, left or right or whatever, they just don't understand what's going on at all. And that's why I think they're so funny, although I'm not putting them down or nothing, just in case one of them's listening and wants to prove me wrong. But no, I've never had any trouble with them. The only contact I had with them is that they figure, hey, I might be doing something out of the ordinary, and they want to know, am I doing anything deliberately?
Yeah.
And since my books go across the state lines and stuff, and they know me, but they never bother me. They never ask for my name list or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to be giving you a call to get the next tape, because that was absolutely fantastic, and I wish you good luck, and hope to hear what station you're on. Since Friday.
Are you a subscriber?
What?
Are you a subscriber?
Well, I got the poor man's James Bond,
well,
and I got
not a subscriber. To subscribe, you pay $15 to subscribe to Shoestring Entrepreneur, or $35 to subscribe to U.S. Militia, and either subscription gets you 10% off on all of my books and tapes. But I'm going to, if I know the frequency I'm going on, and I'm going to make an announcement in my next subscription.
Oh, okay.
See?
All right, Kurt. Well, like I said, I wish you luck, and we'll be hearing from you again.
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.
Let's do the radio commercial.
Now, you and your friends could listen to the Kurt Saxon Show on a digital programmable shortwave radio for only $49.95. The AC-101 has the following features: PLL synthesized tuning, frequency range of 2.3 to 6.2 megahertz, and 7.1 to 21.85 megahertz continuous. AM and FM, record timer, 20 station presets, external antenna jack, 65-page program guide, sleep timer, 2-year warranty, plus much more. Send check or money order to EIS, P.O. Box 2415-KS, Youngstown, Ohio 44509. Or for credit card orders only, 1-800-456-8770. That's 1-800-456-8770. For information, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to EIS, P.O. Box 2415-KS, Youngstown, Ohio 44509. All orders are shipped out within 1 week, and if you order now from Kurt's Show, you will receive a free AC adapter worth over $12. Thank you.
Okay, we're on. Ed from San Antonio.
Yes, Curtis, we were talking, loop antennas, that's what I have. What I think is the main thing that you have to consider is making sure your antenna is not grounded. And the radio can be grounded, and I really recommend that you ground your radio very well, but don't ground your antenna. And I was getting initially when I first started listening to you, I had a lot of difficulty picking you up, and I spent a little time making sure I had good insulation on my antenna. And since then, I pick you up like a local AM station every night. I've never had.
That's good. I'm sure that. See, but a lot of people out there don't know how to do that.
Well, it's not. I'll send you a little schematic, a little picture cartoon on how to do it. It's not as difficult as it might seem.
Okay.
What I wanted to tell you about is the sprouts. What I found when I sprout alfalfa, and I use. I get my wife, sometimes when she uses her pantyhose, we go ahead and launder them, and then I take the pantyhose and stretch it over the mouth of the jar, and it makes a great string for sprouting. You can pour water through it, and when you have small seeds like alfalfa, they don't rinse through the pantyhose. And typically you can grow a quart or more within 4 or 5 days easily, you know. Secondly, we're lucky here in San Antonio because our city has a brush collection place. Last week, I picked up 8,000 pounds of mulch, ground vegetable matter. They take all the limbs, and I've got about 4 inches of mulch all over my garden. Did it all to my flower beds and trees and everything. So locally, your listeners might want to check with their local sanitation department and see if they have a shredder. If they do, they probably shred things for their own parts and needs. And if they probably give it away to the public. It's not very well publicized because naturally, if it were, they wouldn't have very much left. But here in San Antonio, they gave it away. You can just take pickup trucks or flatbed trucks and take all you want. It's beautiful stuff.
Well, also, if you find a chicken ranch around, also where they sell livestock, you go there with a pickup truck or whatever, they'll let you load up. I don't think they charge anything.
No, I'm not investigated that aspect, but I'm sure that you could find like feedlots and stuff would offer you to come and pick it up if you wanted it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if listeners could send you a postcard, and when your frequency change came down, that you could read a self-addressed postcard that you could drop it back to. I think that.
Well, hey, that's a good idea. A lot of people see. I have no way of. I can't take and make a special mailing to everyone who has ordered a book or a subscription, telling them about the new frequency.
If they would just send you a self-addressed postcard when the frequency came down, you could just go ahead and drop them back in the mail, and then everybody would be clued in automatically.
I'd be very
up and running right away.
Yeah, I'd be very glad to do that. It wouldn't take me but a few seconds to do it, and then when I learn the frequency, I'll take all those cards and just write the frequency and the date that it's going to be on and
time.
Yeah, and the time. Well, it better be the same time. I want this time slot.
Well, I thoroughly enjoy your program, and I'm looking forward for your James Bond reprint on 1, or I guess it's 2.
Well, I've got 1 and 4. 2 and 3 are temporarily out of print.
I think I wanted to get 3 and get the chemistry book, and I really enjoy your program, and you raise a lot of interesting questions, and I've always felt that regardless of what stance you had, you always had a logical slant on it, and that's one thing that I think your appeal is, that you are logical.
Well, I try to be.
Okay, I'll let somebody else on. Thank you very much.
Okay, buddy, you call again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas 72611. Now, let me repeat my $100 offer. Incidentally, the prices on the books I publish are going up from $18 to $20 as of January 1st. But the $100 offer is still good until the 15th. I'll try to get back in that just before the program's over. So keep listening. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, Kurt. This is Esther.
Hello, Esther. I thought you were going to call tonight.
Oh, you are a delightful person.
Why, thank you.
I'm going to miss you until you come on again.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you I'm getting loud and very loud and clear reception from you.
Well, I'm glad. Isn't it a pity you weren't getting it all the time?
Oh, you don't know how frustrating that is. I still would hang in there, and I'd say to myself, why listen? You can't hear it.
Yeah. Well, I don't expect people to do that.
Well, I'm hoping you get a good reception the next time.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah, well, your books, I've had over a week now, and I think I'm going cross-eyed. They're great.
Well, I'm glad.
They are on beautiful paper, beautiful printing. No wonder your wife is annoyed with you. They are a real value for that $100.
Well, it's like an introductory offer. Probably everyone who orders the $100 package, which, if you don't mind, it's volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of The Survivor, which is 1,864 pages of material, except for a few pages of index. And volume 1 of The Poor Man's James Bond, a subscription to Shoestring Entrepreneur, and a subscription to U.S. Militia, all for $100, which includes UPS freight. And this is only till the 15th of December. And as of January 1st, the prices of the books will be going up.
Well, it is a real bargain. Now, I wanted to just make a comment about your talk tonight about butters.
Yes.
I myself couldn't see the point to it because it was almost 15 minutes that you talked. One could not write those recipes down, but surely in the volumes of magazines you have, there must be subjects that we could understand while you're on and won't need it for a reference later.
Well, look, Esther, the thing is, I'm going to put that in a future issue of Shoestring Entrepreneur, so you'll get all the recipes. You don't need to write it down. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't going to put it in the... Well, I'll rewrite it because I can write it a lot better than they do, and I won't make so many repeats and stuff like that. But fruit butters is very nice to do, so just be patient. You'll be able to make fruit butters. It's too late in the season now anyway.
Yes, it is.
And, of course, if you had to have it the way I read it, just buy a tape from Carrie. But because I don't know if you realize it, but regardless of how scratchy it comes over the radio, the tape is perfectly clear.
How do you sell your tapes?
Well, he sells them for $6 a piece postpaid, or $5 for $25 postpaid.
Now, what are they, Kurt?
They're audio tapes.
Of your programs?
Yeah.
Do you have a catalog listing them?
Well,
a summary of what's in them?
Yeah, well, yes, he's got a listing of the tape that he sends to anybody who wants it. If you'll send him a self-addressed stamped envelope, then he will just send you a copy of all of the tapes. He'll tell the editorial that I read, or the subject, the topic, whatever. And you can probably remember it by that if you don't have the date fixed in your mind.
Yes. Oh, I want to tell you one thing that surprised me with all those books that you sent me. You're quite a good-looking man.
Oh, well, that's a very scruffy picture of me.
Oh, my goodness. Glenda better keep you out in the boondocks.
Well, I can't afford a mistress, but I can fantasize.
Listen, we all do. If we didn't have our dreams and our imaginations, where would we be? You wouldn't be what you're doing today if you didn't have your thoughts and your ideas to form a program like this.
Yes.
But it's just, I'm going to miss you. You are a delight.
Well, it's hopefully it won't be very long. I just didn't want to... when he said it might be a couple of months, then I said, well, I could wait I could stay on a couple of weeks, but not a couple of months, because I'm into the station too much, and you know they're really good people there, or they would have said, look, pay up right away, or we're going to cut you off.
Oh, I hear this from other people that talk on the WWCR. They are good people to work.
Yes, oh yes, they're just as nice people as you. That's why, although I get terribly angry about the reception, I get a little paranoid at times.
I know.
I just can't get angry at the people there because they're just so nice. They do the best they can. I know that, even though I might think that there's somebody there messing it up. I know that it's not Adam or the engineer or whatever, but maybe it isn't even that. It might be sunspots. Well, like the engineer explained to me, he said, what's happening now is a phenomenon we don't understand, and it's happening on lots of stations, not just ours.
I heard you say something on this program tonight, and I'm with you 1,000%. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant man. He invented things that they never gave him credit for, and even today the scientists are using some of his theories. He said that with low-frequency electromagnetic waves, man will be able to harness energy in such a fashion that a small ray of something will be able to penetrate. And I think of the laser beam. But he also said that they are going to be able to control weather. Now, maybe...
Possibly so.
Well, now, look, you said that Adam told you that a phenomenon has been happening. They don't understand it. Maybe America and Russia is working together to change the frequencies in the atmosphere in the electromagnetic waves.
Well, if they're doing it, they're messing it up, and that's...
Of course they wouldn't do it right.
No, they couldn't do it right, because look at the source.
That's what I was just going to say, the government. If you want to, well, I'm not even going to go into that.
Yes. Well, I have no confidence in this government or any government on the face of the earth, because the overpopulation and the downbreeding has made us a planet of morons just about. And so no matter what their reasons or no matter what they want to do, I don't trust them to do anything effectively.
I'm going to leave you with a comment. It was years ago that I would watch Ann Southern on TV, and it was called Private Secretary.
Yes.
She made a comment in one of her programs to her boss. I never forgot it. This is the comment.
Okay.
Quote, "The only handshake you can trust is the one extended from your own elbow." End of quote.
That's right.
And that is the truth.
Yeah, and Paranoid George once said, he's the character in Wheels of Rage from U.S. Militia. Have you read that?
Just the first part of one of the chapters.
Yes.
You
well,
mean
he also wrote an article in one of the Survivors.
Is this the way you lived at one time?
Yes, I was a bum, I told you.
How come you didn't get blown away?
Well, because I was quicker at blowing people away.
Oh, come on.
Hey, listen, I was bad.
Well, I'll bet you blew them away with your words.
No, I didn't talk much then. But anyway, no, Paranoid George said, if you want a helping hand, you will find one at the end of your arm.
Yes, same thing.
Yes.
Well, look, God bless you.
Okay.
Have a great day tomorrow and every day thereafter.
You too, Esther.
And you take care.
Okay, bye, dear.
Bye-bye.
Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And let me get back on my $100 offer, which is good until the December 15th. It's volumes 1, 2, 3, 4 of The Survivor, 1864 pages, 1,864 pages of very useful material, thousands of formulas, processes, recipes, cottage industries, trades, crafts, hobbies, toys, you name it. If your great-grandfather can do it, you could do it. You can save money, make money. And then there's Poor Man's James Bond 1, Shoestring Entrepreneur, and U.S. Militia, plus UPS Freight. $100. Hello, Kurt here.
Hey, Kurt.
Yes.
This is Tim. I used to be a radio operator.
Hi, Tim.
And I was thinking, a lot of this, sometimes the other stations, I noticed, had a big problem yesterday at the Catholic station coming in.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if they don't watch their modulation, it just goes completely all over the place.
Well, you see, the Catholic station is transmitting at 500,000 watts, and the WWCR is transmitting at 100,000 watts. So you see, the Catholic transmitter, the guy that came to visit me today told me that some rich guy had donated that station to the Catholic Church. And he gave them the best that they could possibly get. In fact, these transmitters have to be built. They don't have plans for them. It depends on how much money you got and how wide you want to go and everything like that. And so he just gave them a lot of money for the best hotsy-totsy transmitter. So, of course, they transmit at as great power as they can use, and they don't hurt anyone deliberately, because I'm sure they're very sweet people, especially Mother Angelica. And so it's just that they get their message out the loudest, and depending on the currents of the air, if it's like you imagine a pond, and you throw a little rock in it, you know, and you got these little, what do you call it, ripples?
Ripples, yeah.
Around the rock, and then another guy throws in a big rock. Well, he's going to more or less mess up your ripples, even though he may not even know you're there. You may be hiding in the bushes.
So it's sort of like a toothpick against the big pine tree.
Yeah, see, so that's just what we're going to contend with until we get a lower frequency.
Oh, one other thing I was going to mention, why is it that every time someone nut goes off with a gun, they always call him a survivalist?
Well, I made up that term several years ago, and people who can't explain their actions just call themselves a survivalist.
I think it's so funny, though. Usually the people that run off with the guns die, so they're not really surviving anything.
That's right. They're not survivalists. A survivalist is one who anticipates the collapse of the system and prepares to survive it. It has no connotations of race, politics, religion, or anything like that. You could be a survivalist without ever caring to be called a survivalist.
That's right. Well,
if you provide for yourself and your loved ones and make yourself an asset to your community, then you're a survivalist. It doesn't matter. You don't even need a label.
Well, I want to wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I hope you have a good one, too.
All right. They don't eat too much turkey like I'm going to.
We're not going to have any turkey.
Oh,
Be careful.
bad. Well, have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, again, the phone number is 501-437-2963. The mailing address is P.O. Box 95, Alpena, Arkansas, 72611. And send in $1 for my catalog, and when you make your first order, knock off $1, and, well, got a call. Hello, Kurt here.
Hello, Kurt. This is Tom from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. You know that fellow that went off with a rifle down in Washington, D.C., that he broke the law. You're not allowed to have a gun down there in Washington, D.C.
Well, now what are...
The one that went in the police station?
Yeah, oh yeah, well he had a semi-automatic of one sort, and I was waiting till they found out what it was all about. He was, well he was nuts for one thing. He was being questioned for 3 murders, and for some reason in the police station in Washington, D.C., they had no metal detectors. Well, how could they? Because they got cops walking in and out of there all the time with you ever gone through a metal detector?
Going to the airport, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, you see, if you were a cop working in the police station, there's a couple of hundred cops in there going in and out all day. They can't take off their belt every time they go in there.
Plus your car keys even, my car keys.
Yeah, you see, so there's, I mean, with all the cops around there, who would need a metal detector? So here this guy, he's being questioned for 3 murders, and they call him in for another questioning. I guess he was out on bail or whatever. And he's crazy, see?
Mm-hmm.
So he just takes in his submachine gun under his jacket or whatever and kills several people, and then kills himself. So he meant to die when he walked in there.
Right. Well, they said they were interviewing some people today, and they said he threatened one of the cops, and the cop said, you know, you come on back then and just do it right, you know, like as though
okay,
we'll take you on. So
yeah, okay,
got it personal.
Well, he was crazy.
Yeah. I was wondering if you had checked into maybe the Catholic station would sell you a spot. You could you could sell yourself as though getting people ready for, you know, the another big catastrophe like the flood or something.
The Armageddon?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they would want my program on their air.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I owned the station, there are certain programs I wouldn't have on.
Yeah, yeah.
See, WWCR is a very liberal station, not in the liberal political way. It's just that they're very they're tolerant. We mustn't use liberal anymore because it's not politically correct. We'll say tolerant.
Open-minded, right?
Yes, they're open-minded. They're not like Ernie Bear from Canada who wants me off the air.
Yeah, I'm just joking about the Catholic station, but you never know, you know? I mean, they might...
No, I don't think they sell time.
Oh, really? It's all...
No, they have such a powerful transmitter that if they did sell time, I don't... Well, they wouldn't sell it to me anyway. They wouldn't sell it to the Protestant stations. See, they're projecting a message, and they don't need any competition.
Right, I understand. That's true. You can't blame them.
No.
They believe in what they're doing and like you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Well, wait a minute. Hang on there, because we don't have time to hang up and then get another caller. We got about 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem. I just don't like to take up other people's opportunity.
Well, no, you'll be the last caller of the night.
Okay. Sounds good.
So make some crazy comment. Let's keep these people entertained.
Oh, okay.
You're on now. You're being heard in China.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I don't think I could pass the FBI thing, you know, to be so normal that I could be an agent.
Well, neither could I.
Yeah. But I don't mind that, you know.
Yeah. No. Well, see, the FBI agents that I've talked to are terribly unimaginative.
Right.
Like, for instance, when I was a stormtrooper, Mad Sean McGuire, he was a character in Wheels of Rage. He was called into the FBI office. He didn't want to go, and he called Mike Brown, who was the leader, and Mike Brown told him better not go. But the FBI told him, look, we've got your record. You got 87 traffic tickets outstanding, and if you don't come in to talk to us, we will tell the police where you are. Well, he didn't want the San Francisco cops to know where he was living, so he went in, and so then he had told me that he was going in the next day, so I lived just a few blocks from there on Bush Street, and so I went to the reception desk and asked the lady, well, is Sean in there? And she says, yes. And so I says, well, when will he get out? And she says, I don't know. And so I figured, well, I just wanted to go have coffee with him when he was done. But anyway, then I left, and so when he came out, she told him that someone had been there, and Mike Brown had told him not to go. So he called me up real excited that evening and said that Mike Brown had sent a hitman to kill him, and he was awful scared. It was only me, but I didn't have the heart to tell him it was me, because this way it kept him excited and paranoid, and he loved that.
Right.
But anyway, then when next time I talked to the FBI, they repeated the craziest lies that he had told them, asking me more about it. See, they couldn't understand anything he was talking about, or me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, look, we got to go now.
Okay.
Okay, buddy, call again.
Good night.
Night. Now it's sign-off time. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So this is Kurt Saxon saying goodbye and be good.